Hey, it's Tpok. I'm back in Analogue, a hate story. Sorry about no video yesterday. I was really busy doing stuff with work, and then, well, I guess at the same time it wasn't work related. I don't know. We had some like fun field day kind of thing with all these types of events, and my job was to make t-shirts, and of course I procrastinated until last night, so ran out of time to record. But anyways, let's get into this. I thought so. Oh, really, my word, that was a close call. There's actually something I've been thinking about for a while that I wanted to ask you about. And, well, I had sensors working before. I've seen your ship. I know it's only big enough for one person. It sounds awfully remarkable that you could have a ship like that just for yourself. I mean, in my time we were using generation ships, and that was incredibly state-of-the-art. So is that normal? Do you do this all the time, go on strange adventures by yourself in deep space? No, not quite. That makes sense. Although I sure wish you could explain that to me. I'm just really curious. See, when I found that I was going to get put into stasis to wake up far later, that was the future I always dreamed about. One that was full of amazing things, like, I don't know, holograms, miracle medicine, ships that travel faster than light, colonies on other planets. That's sort of amazing. I mean, I never liked science fiction. It's just too unrealistic, but when I was a kid I figured it'd still be fun to live in it. Imagine my surprise. But it sure sounds like you're from that future. Oh, sorry, I'm rambling, aren't I? It's just the idea of finally getting that perfect future that I was denied. What? Oh, traveling with someone in deep space? Well, that sounds awfully romantic. Sorry, I'll stop now. Let's get back to serious business. What is my serious business right now? I mean, honestly. Oh, I can ask the questions. Question 1. How are you doing? Well, to be honest, nervous. I'm really nervous. It's just that you're the first person I've talked to in so long. I'm really happy about that. But, well, I'm exposing a lot. I know you promised to trust me and all, so thanks. It's just, this is all really new to me. But it's good. I'm glad. I wouldn't be so nervous if I wasn't happy you were there to listen. Well, that's nice to know. How do you feel about me? Wow, there's a tough question. I mean, you seem like a really good person. I think I could call you a friend. You seem to be a really good listener. I like that. Does that answer your question? No. Oh. I'm sorry, I'd explain better if I could. Are you upset? I'm fine. Okay, good, just checking. Okay, that was wrong. Oh, no. Load it. Yes. Yeah. Okay, good. Not that I really understand why Mute was asking. I don't either. No. What do you really look... how old are you? Seems safer, I guess? Yeah, safer than... Is that what you really look like? Isn't that the one question you're never supposed to ask a woman? Geez, so rude. Well, I was born in the year 2415, then I was put into stasis for I don't know how long. Then I lived for another 3 years and died about 622 years ago at the age of 16. So, you told me how old I am. I don't know. Really, I don't think it really matters at this point, does it? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. How do you feel about mute? Oh, of course that'd be one of her questions. Well, let me put this way, I suppose. Does she have anything nice to say about me? Not really. That's what I thought. Really, I don't know much about her other than what I've read on other people's logs. She never talked to me, ever. I mean, she wasn't above talking about me, but no, never anything to me. That's all I know about her. She's a gossip. I don't even want to speak to her now. Okay. Well, she's dead. Nope. Did you ever... That seems safer. After waking up from stasis, I only ever had one single friend. Two I meant, now that you're here. Anyway, before it was just her. My queen. The queen. My husband's wife. Ryu Jaehwa. I wrote about her a lot in my diary. I'll just show you. It's probably better for you to read it for yourself. These are from right after I got married. I don't want to ask her other questions. No. Just us wives. Dear Diary, I guess it's been forever since I cared enough to write anything down. I just haven't seen much point. Since my last entry, I got married, moved to the palace, and lost my virginity. Apparently, for a girl my age, none of these things are really all that weird. I think that's very weird, but I guess not at that time. The queen finally insisted on talking to me the night after I first slept with dearest husband. I'd been expecting it. My sister warned me that she would probably be jealous, and I'd just have to endure it. She outranks me, and I would simply have the kowtow to her if need be. I haven't had to yet, though. We had tea together, and she at least has started by acting friendly. I'm sure sister was right. I'll get the brunt of her anger soon enough. But today she was really friendly. How are you holding up? She asked me after we finished with tea. I shrugged. Do trust me, I know how hard it can be for a newlywed. I've been through it myself, but I was at least older. You probably missed your family, do you not? That's what that's what would be expected from any good girl. So I nodded. It gets easier with time. I have no response. I'm sorry, am I bothering you? You can leave if you wish. I simply thought you might like some company. I wasn't sure how to respond to that either. I just clasped my hands and shook my head. I just wanted to be sure, she said. There was a long pause that followed. Finally, she asked, how was last night? It surprised me that she was willing to bring up the subject. Figuring that it was a segue into her being vindicative towards me for sleeping with her husband, I shrugged as she continued. I just know he can be rough. Nobody ever talked about those duties with me. Then she smiled, and I felt like I could almost drop my guard. I had no idea what to expect my first time. Do believe me, I'm not jealous. That is nothing to be jealous of, but do tell me how it was. It made me think back on last night. Honestly, it was the best night I've ever had since waking up in the future. Everyone, my mother, my sister, and now my queen, warned me that it would be bad. It would be a duty and nothing more. But honestly, I did love it. I would have let him keep me up all night if he'd had the energy for it. Oh, I right-clicked by accident, sorry. I guess while I was thinking about all that, I let out a slight smile. I caught myself, but not before she noticed. Oh, did you enjoy it then? She asked, touching my arm. I jumped. Please be at ease. That is perfectly all right too. So long as you know it's just for him. There's absolutely no shame in that. There's none. I expected her to jump into something passive-aggressive from that, but she didn't. All she did was change the subject and said that she was really worried about me. Maybe she isn't so bad. No, I think she's the nicest person ever. So you can see she was kind. She was good to me, she really was. I take it you want to know more about my marriage then. What are you interested in? I'm personally interested in the Queen. Then you're in luck. She's in all of those entries. Well, she was really the only thing in my life worth writing about for the most part. There's one in that she wrote herself about our husband, and you can see for yourself she's a lot stronger than I ever was. So you can see for yourself why I admired her. And well, just read them, all right? How many are there? Little sister, illiterate, muteness. Stop right-clicking, hand. Dear Diary, attending to my husband has been easier than I was afraid it would be. Yes, there's days when it requires more strength than usual to keep going. I'm still getting increasingly more sick. Nothing will change that. But it's not so bad, really. All I have to do is dote on him, and try to anticipate his desires, and he's happy with me. No abuse or anything. Sure, it's not as if I like him. He's an ugly 40-year-old man who cares only about politics and never tells me anything. Love? Well, that's certainly of no concern. I don't know where I ever got the impression that there was something that could happen in a marriage. I thought it was something that from the past, but, well, I was young before I got put in stasis. It must have been a mistake of childhood. But so long as I do as I'm told, I'm not mistreated like I was by my sister. And sleeping with him feels good. I really hope I don't get pregnant soon. I don't want that to stop. Doing that is really the only thing that makes me actually happy these days. Well, that and Jaehwa's talks with me. She's nice. She keeps me company when I stay up to wait for his return, and she fetches servants to take me to bed on those days I'm too feverish to sit for too long. And she just talks to me as if I'm a friend. I don't really understand why, but I guess she really doesn't hate me after all. Do let me tell you, she said one evening while she brushed my hair. I always wanted a little sister growing up. That's how I think of you. Does that make sense? I shrugged. It was nice of her, and it felt so relaxing to let her touch my hair like that. She wasn't waiting for a response anyway. By now, she knows better. She just keeps talking kindly to me. Okay. Has that always been there? Has it? I guess so. I never noticed it. The more she lives in my house, the more I am confused by the mystery that is the pale bride. No wonder why my husband has been favoring the Kim family lately. Their daughter seems to be the perfect woman. She's not simply a pale beauty, she's always too shy to speak at all, let alone argue. Seems to hang off his every word, and it turns out is actually so completely humble in her education that she cannot even read. Or rather, she cannot read normal characters. I have observed her writing to herself, and perhaps what may be a diary. When I asked what it was, she wouldn't say, but was quick to hide it. I could not recognize a single character on her screen, however. They seemed simplified compared to her regular writing. Perhaps she has invented a writing system just for herself. It is very strange. Did you ever receive those letters I sent to your house before you arrived? I asked her, curious. Seemingly she had. Did you read them? Her response was worried, as if she was scared that I would be angry to find out that she hadn't. I was not, of course. I'm sorry, I had assumed. Are you able to read? That was when I found out that she wasn't. I offered to read them to her, to which she seemed quite enthusiastic. I think I am likely to leave out some parts, however. I had enough difficulty bringing myself to writing the more embarrassing parts of the family history. Bringing myself to talk about them, even if I know she would never say anything, is just far too much. Like all things with her, I cannot tell her whether her enthusiasm is sincere, or an effort to make me happy. This troubles me. You want to talk about it? Oh? Of course I wasn't illiterate, I could read just fine. It's just not their stupid Chinese-based characters. I mean, I can understand them now. Everything except my diary entries is translated from them. Are you serious? It's such a dumb way of writing, though. It makes everything come out so stilted compared to proper Korean. Well, anyway, you're showing me that because you're interested in her admonitions, right? Yeah. Then here, I'll just give you the letter she sent. They give all the details, even the ones she was too embarrassed to tell me about at the time. You can probably guess which parts she cut out. It's pretty obvious. It's the incest thing that she never told me about at the time. That did not even come to my mind. Okay. Having read about it now, I don't really blame her. And well, here, you can see what I mean for yourself. Okay. However, I've got a backlog. Whoa, what? Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, muteness. Dear Diary, I've been thinking a lot about how close my death must be now. Lately, I've been getting prone to fainting spells. It probably goes right along with my diminishing appetite. If the doctor from the past was right, I still have got over a year left to live. Maybe more. He said it wasn't very likely to get bad enough to kill me until I was at least 18. Although maybe all those years in stasis might have changed that, I don't know. But if he was right, and I haven't lost track of time, I'm 16 and a half right now, so there's still a while. Well, that's good, I guess. I've been trying to hide the signs of the sickness. Even if I could explain, I know full well that nobody would believe me. So far, hiding it has been mostly working, although I did have one of my fainting spells while my husband was on top of me. He wasn't angry at me, though. I don't think he cared. I know all I write about these days is sex with my husband and conversations with his wife. The Kim family... Okay, I'm assuming he just wants to play Ace of Spades. The Kim family would be proud, I guess, but those two things aren't all that's really worthwhile in my life. I have other responsibilities, of course. They're just not that interesting. That's about it. Anyway, the Queen continued to be nice to me. She finally figured it out. We were having tea together one afternoon. She was talking about nothing in particular, and she asked me some question that I just shrugged to. I hope you do not take this the wrong way, she then said, but there is something I would like to ask you. I nodded. I don't think I've ever heard your voice before. I nodded again. Why don't you ever speak to me? Are you just saving that for the Emperor? I didn't know how to respond. She was so close to getting it, to bringing up the subject I wasn't able to. Yet that wasn't the right question, so I shook my head and hoped that her next question would be. It was. Then, Hyune, she said uncertainly. Are you mute? I felt like screaming yes at the top of my lungs. I was so happy that she'd finally figured it out. I smiled and was about to nod enthusiastically, but suddenly I stopped. What if she thought less of me if I said yes? If she knew that the reason I was so quiet and demure wasn't because of any sort of discipline? What if those were the things people liked about me? Would she stop liking me if she knew? What if she told my husband? I was so terrified. I couldn't think of any correct answer. If I said no, she would have asked to hear what my voice sounded like, and I'd be forced to disobey. If I nodded, then she'd know I wasn't really just trying to be a good wife. And I'm sure she would talk to my husband about it, so he'd know too. But while I stared at her in terror, thinking of how to respond, she sighed and sipped her tea. Don't worry about it, she said. You do not have to answer. Please do forget that I even asked. That was very nice. I didn't know she was mute, though. You know, nobody ever noticed that until her. Nobody cared. Nobody ever thought any of it. Nobody ever thought any of it, or cared enough about me to find out. But she... keep doing this. But she did care. She actually paid attention. She was great. So I thought she was yelling expletives at people. Did she, like, lose her voice during that time, I guess? I don't know. But I am gonna end it here. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Tomorrow's Friday, right? Yeah. So I'll have another bit of Analogue A Hate Story out tomorrow. And then Saturday I'll fix Katawa Shoujo. I'll get one of those out, and then with my new gaming rig, I can do other games. So me and Zoichi were gonna play some Ace of Spades and record that. I'll put that up there, and then I bought Terra, the MMO, because it was like 20 bucks, and I was like, sure. I got Arma 2. I don't know if I have the right version for DayZ, but I hope I did get it. I don't know. I found it at Micro Center for $5, so I was like, sure. Yeah. So, we'll see. But, as for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.